Happy Saturday. Things could get a little noisy in here because the two dogs are roaming about and my son's outside with his friend, and Rosie takes exception to anybody being in the house and she starts to bark. She'll calm down in a minute or two, but I'm just warning in case you hear dog barks, yeah? That I happen to have got Trixie and I've got Rosie in and out, yeah. Well, I'll do the nitty bits first, or whatever bits first. Oh, Trixie's sitting at my feet. I'm still knitting the cardigan. Still knitting it. I know, it's been going on for ages, hasn't it? I've been very slow. I've got no excuse except I seem to have lost a bit of my mojo. And I've lost my crojo. I started some crocheting and it's only about 1 inch long. So, you know, that's all what it is. Rosie is determined to go up the stairs because that's where she sits. She's like Kermit, she sits halfway up the stairs. But then unfortunately she can get upstairs into their lounge and she can bark at everybody that passes by. So it's not a good thing. That's what I'm doing it from. You know me and my vintage patterns. It's an old Lister's pattern and it's 4D. Not even 4P, 4D. Yeah. And then I got a nice surprise in the post. My friend June had made me a poncho. Let me get the right bit of it. I'm not wearing it because obviously, you know, I'm doing a video, aren't I? It's all bright colours as you can see. And it's got tassels at the end. And it's got a hood. The hood I'm finding is a little bit large, so I'm just going to try and sort out something with it, because at the moment I'm like the Grim Reaper. It comes right over my head and over my face. So, and when I turn it back like that, it doesn't kind of sit right. But I'm sure I will sort it out, yeah. So that's why I'm not wearing it at the minute. Right. Well, that's about it for the nitty crochery news. Except if you follow me on Facebook, you know I had a little bit of an incident last Wednesday. On my way to Knit Club, calls at the sandwich shop to get me sandwich, to get me butty. Going along, and I kept thinking the day before, I thought, this scooter's going slow. You know, it's supposed to go like 8 miles an hour, and it was really going slow, and I couldn't understand it. Because I've been charging it up and everything was fine. So I'm going along there, and then all of a sudden, it stopped. But right in the middle of a driveway, well, to a car park that belongs to the NHS. So I thought, oh, what's it stopped for? Now, once before when I had a scooter and it stopped, it was because a lead had come off the battery. So I'm walking round it thinking, well, how do I get to the battery? How do I get to look if there's a lead come off the battery? But then I thought to myself, I better move it, because it was like lunchtime. I thought somebody could be coming out of the car park at any minute. I better get it over onto the pavement. So I takes it out of gear. Oh gosh, I've got something in my eye now. There's a little lever at the back of the scooter that you can take it out of gear so that you can actually push it. It's a bit heavy for me to push, but you know, I thought, well, can't leave it in the middle of this car park entrance, can I? As I started to push it, the wheel fell off. The back wheel fell off. And I thought, oh. Anyway, just then, a young man pulled up in his car and he said, oh, are you having a bit of trouble? Well, he said, did the wheel come off? He said, maybe it's the wing, you know, the nuts on the wheel come off. So he helped me to push it onto the pavement bit. And then he looked at the wheel and he said, it's sheared right off. It's just sheared completely off the axle. So I thought, oh, this is brilliant. Anyway, another young man pulled up and said, is she having trouble? What's the matter? So they were they were brilliant. They were like knights in shining armour. They were. One gets the phone and he phoned I've got an emergency number that you ring to get rescued, if you know what I mean. So he's telling her this, because I was like a bit shook up. I wasn't hurt. Fortunately, I'd got off the scooter to push it. Otherwise, I could have been tipped straight off. I could have been, you know, in the road or banged my head or anything. So fortunately, I'd got off the scooter before the wheel fell off it. And the whiny noise, by the way, is Rosie. Anyway, the second young man pulled up and see if he could help, and they both looked at the wheel and shook their heads and said, like, you know, we can't do anything about this. So they'd phoned up the people, and they said they couldn't come out, not for so many hours or something. They've got nobody in the area, blah, 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 blah. Rosie, that's enough now. I'm sorry if you can hear her whining. Anyway, they said, oh, well, we'll just have to leave it here then, because she can't sit on it because it was tipped like that. So, oh, sorry about this. Rosie, enough. Enough. And he said, we can't leave her here. So anyway, one of the young men said, oh, I'll take her back home. Take her back home. So gets in his car. We stripped everything off the scooter that was personal, you know, like the backpack and all that jazz. And anyway, I came back home again, and my daughter-in-law took me to knit club. And as I walked into knit club, they're all singing 3 wheels on my wagon. Yeah. And anyway, apparently they came and they picked it up and delivered it back to the house where. But they didn't come till about 3:30, so I would have been sat there from 12 o'clock till 3:30, waiting for them to come, sitting on my Onio, you know, attracting attention with a 3-wheel scooter. So they finally delivered it back. And anyway, he came yesterday with a replacement scooter, and I've got a loan one. And he said he looked at it and said he'd never seen one do that before. He said in all his years of having scooters, repairing scooters, he'd never seen one that had just sheared off the axle like that. So we don't know if it's an insurance job, a replacement job, whether they can repair it with a whole complete new axle, or whether they won't bother. You know, the repair might cost more than the scooter's worth. But either way, you know I pay a lot each month to rent a scooter, but in circumstances like this, you know, I was glad I did, because I would have been left with an 18-month-old scooter that cost a few grand, that I would have had to pay I don't know how much to either get it repaired or to buy another scooter. Ooh. Which, as you know, I'm still paying off on my little scooter. Anyway, in the evening I had another knit club. I went on the little scooter. Goodness, what a difference. They're really only meant for going round a little shopping, you know, at the shopping centre and stuff like that. Because every little bump in the road, it was like... I tell you what, I had to take pills for me back when I got home. Excuse me, we've got a little one wants to get in on the act. She won the prettiest dog in her group competition at a French Bulldog party today. Didn't you, darling? You won the prettiest doggy. She got a little rosette, yeah. Oh, there she is. She went back to the vets, you know, the big vets that did the big operation. And we'd been told that the pins would stay in her leg forever. And apparently when they got there yesterday, they got told that the pins have got to come out. And it'll be another big operation, which we are querying, because they told us that the price we paid, that was it, yeah? That was, you know, I mean, I told you before, it was a heck of a price we had to pay, because she wasn't insured at the time. And even though she's insured, they won't pay out for something that happened, like, you know, before the insurance kicked in. So we're just querying that, because we're not going to pay another big amount of cash to get the pins taken out of her leg. It was a different vet. Apparently the vet that did the operation, he's now moved somewhere else. So what he said, they're like kind of denying, because he said that's it now. She doesn't need to have the pins taken out, she's fine. And then this other vet had said, oh no, we don't leave pins in a young dog like that while it's still growing. You know, so I don't know if you can still see her ears. Rosie has now calmed down. She stopped barking. She is now sitting. Yeah. I put a photograph of her on Instagram, and somebody said, put a thing on saying, you have won £8,000. So I put, and I don't think so. So he wrote back and said, why don't you think so? I said, because it's a scam. No, you don't win £8,000 out of the blue, do you, heck? No, he's not answered me. It's all a scam to get your bank details. Give us your bank details and we'll send the £8,000 to you. No. I wasn't born yesterday. Not falling for that. Tempted as it would be to get £8,000. You all know there's a snag, yeah? You know, I don't know how many people they reel in with things like that, you know. You have won this if you do this or whatever. No. They're not having my bank details. Anyway, they wouldn't get anything if they had my bank details because, you know, like, it's a bit Mother Hubbard's cupboard at the moment, mine, yeah. Yeah, I did buy a planter, by the way. It's not arrived. Well, it has arrived. It's not put together yet. You know, I wanted it on legs, you know, so I could actually, a raised planter, they call them, for the garden, so that I could actually tend to it myself, you know, whether I can't bend down, I can't kneel. So, but I will have to wait for my son to put it together for me because I'm a bit useless with a drill. Anyway, another friend of mine from Knit Club, she's going to come on Tuesday and take me to a garden centre. Yeah, I'm thinking of just growing herbs in it. It's not a big planter. Just growing herbs in it, or maybe some lettuce or something like that. I'm not growing flowers in it. Flowers tend to die on me, I don't know why. But I just wanted a little bit of something outside the shed, yeah. I was going to film this in the shed actually, but A, it's gone cold, and B, my son's outside with his friend fixing up the camper van that my son's doing up, and so I'm in charge of doggies. So yeah, so as you can see, there she is, and she's pretty. Well, if you like French Bulldog, she's pretty. She's pretty in a French Bulldog sort of way, yeah. Let's put it that way. Now Rosie, to me, Rosie is attractive. She's beautiful. Excuse me. In a really scruffy, you know, like the Lady and the Tramp kind of way. Rosie, that's enough. We don't want to hear that. People all over in America and everywhere don't want to hear you barking. Come here, darling. Good girl. Yes. Come here, sweetheart. Yeah. She's a lovely little thing. She really is. I don't know whether you can... Oh, she's gone again. I was going to try to show you her, but she's gone again. Where is she? There she is. And she's beautiful. Yeah. She's wearing a yellow collar because yellow distinguishes that she's a nervous dog. Yeah. But she's doing very well at her classes. And, do you know, this camera, I've just charged, I picked it up, it wasn't charged up, so I took it in the other room and charged it up. And now it's showing it's really down to 1/4 again. I really am going to have to put that other battery in it, but I keep forgetting. You know what it's like, I'm getting older and forgetful. I've got to make an appointment for my eyes. You know I've had them both done, but there's something not quite right. It feels all the time like there's something in them. Yeah, and I'm blinking. Oh, I'm sorry about this, I must apologise. Rosie! Oh, she's a noisy little soul. And then I've got to make an appointment to have my 4th injection, you know, the COVID, the dreaded. Some people call it the Rona, but I don't like calling it the Rona. The COVID. I've got to have the 4th injection for that. And now I think I'd better go before she goes any blooming worse. Oh, she's a pain in the neck. I will be doing my live later, but I just thought I'd update you about my antics with me and the scooter. All is well though. But tell you what, this new scooter, it doesn't half go fast. Whee! But I don't like it because it's got a high-pitched whine as you're going along. But there's no danger of me running anybody over with this one because they can hear it coming. My other one was quiet. You know, I used to sort of surprise people. And then, where did she come from? But this one, there's no danger. No danger. It's like, whee! As you're going along. So I'm not keeping this one. Besides which, it's got loan written across the front of it, you know. And it's a similar one to my own, but it's an older version. But it does go a lot faster. It's quite zippy. And it was holding its charge much better. And all I meant to mention that. When they ring me up, I need to mention that. Because my other one, it loses battery power if I'm going like to Cleveland's and back. But this one only lost 1 bar. Whereas the other one, I'd lose about 4 bars by the time I came back from, you know, back from Cleveland's. And I'd gone farther with it actually, because I'd gone all the way down, trying to find a fire retardant rug, which doesn't seem to exist, you know, for in front of my log burner. Right, I'm going to go now. I won't bore you anymore. I shall probably bore you tonight with my live, but who knows, yes. Oh! Off she went. Trixie jumped down. So, it's not a nice day today. Couldn't hang my washing up. Got it in the dryer. Just waving to my son. He's outside with his van. It's all go round here. There's a van across the road doing something. The guy across the road's got his camper van for sale. And another house facing, we're having the garden done. So it's kind of like all go today. Except for me, who could stop being so lazy and could do some knitting and finish this blooming sleeve. And then maybe I'll get round to crocheting tonight. Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for bearing with me tailor woe about my scooter. And I shall speak to you all very soon. Bye now. It's not ended. Bye now.